Reaction to Nuclear Threat: Fallout Shelters, Bert the Turtle, and School Drills by Lucas and Nicholas. The 1950s represented an era of great social and economic growth for America, but it also represented an era of great fear. Between the fear of communism spreading like a plague and the fear of global powers getting their hands on more and more powerful weaponry, the United States government, as well as its people, were left in a state of constant apprehension. After the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August 6, 1945, the world was left in awe and terror at the sheer power of the atomic bomb. The proverbial and literal fallout of its use would be felt for miles across seas and continents. The Manhattan District scientists, an association of the chief scientists behind the creation of the nuclear bomb and its first ever test in Los Alamos, New Mexico, admitted through a textual pamphlet that the use of the atomic bomb would now set an unavoidable precedent. America was now left at a terrifying crossroads. The government could now choose to share and develop information regarding atomic energy, which the scientists claimed would prevent nuclear confrontation. However, doing this would no doubt lead to Soviet Russia getting its hands on the materials and knowledge to create their own nuclear bomb. And that's exactly what they did. On August 29, 1949, the USSR successfully tested their first atomic bomb, becoming the second ever country to do so. With this test, America's deepest fear now seems closer than ever to becoming true. With the fear over a nuclear arms race and atomic apocalypse now sweeping the nation, critical responses to the crises such as the creation of fallout shelters and the implementation of atomic bomb drills in classrooms all over America were developed. Throughout the 1950s, American school children practiced diving under desks at the sound of an alarm, tucking their heads in, as if that could protect them from an atomic firestorm.
Be in a corridor. You duck and cover tight against the wall this way. Remember to keep your face and the back of your neck covered tightly. Try to fall away from windows or doors with glass in them. Then, if the glass breaks and flies through the air, it won't cut you.
The 1952 civil defense film, funded by the Federal Civil Defense Administration, or the FCDA, warns that a nuclear attack could happen anytime or anywhere. The seemingly inevitable threat of atomic warfare inspired mass panic across the country, panic that only the president himself could properly address.
President Eisenhower's Atoms for Peace speech was designed to quell the fears regarding atomic power and its potential use in warfare. In his speech, Eisenhower attempts to ease Americans' fears by assuring them that he and the government would work with other nations to cultivate atomic energy for peaceful purposes, as well as form an International Atomic Energy Agency to regulate the development of atomic energy while also making it available to all countries. He assures the public that Soviet Russia would be considered an ally in the development of atomic energy, not a potential threat.
That new language is the language of atomic warfare. The atomic age has moved forward at such a pace that every citizen of the world should have some comprehension, at least in comparative terms, of the extent of this development, of the utmost significance to every one of us. Clearly,
despite Eisenhower's assurances, fear continued to manifest itself in the form of political propaganda. An example of this propaganda came from the informational pamphlet from the FCDA called Facts About Fallout. Facts About Fallout deliberated on the definition and possible symptoms of nuclear fallout. In the case of a nuclear bombing, Americans were given instructions to follow, directing them into basements, protected structures, and government-crafted nuclear fallout shelters. Public health retrospectives, in collaboration with civil defense organizations, worked to calculate which targets nuclear bombs were most likely to hit, the different levels of damage that atomic bombs could do depending on radius, and the levels of protection smaller towns would need from radiation exposure. Overall, while the threat of nuclear war did conflict with the post-war society of 1950s era America, the nuclear question was crucial for the development of atomic peace relations and treaties among different countries. The idea of mutual assured destruction inspired enough fear to prevent America and other countries from thoughtlessly making decisions regarding atomic energy. The destruction left on display to see after Hiroshima and Nagasaki left a lasting impression on not just America, but the whole world, forcing it to carefully consider the possible annihilation of the world as the result of the abuse of atomic weaponry.